If you've bought HBar, Jasmy, Quant, Gala, then you're doing it wrong, guys. Not because you've bought these coins. They're great investments. But you've done the research on them. You've already bought them. Why are you spending hours of your day just rewatching content, reinforcing you on those particular coins? Have some courage in your conviction that you've made the right choice. Let them be. Use your time more effectively because you're leaving so much money on the table that no one is really telling you about. These are blue chip coins that I've already talked about. Finding those blue chip coins in the early stages of their first bull market is where you're going to see the most epic growth you could ever imagine. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. And it's easier than you might think. So do me a favor, hit that like button, hit subscribe. Let's get into it, guys. So obviously people just want to keep watching content over and over again about coins they've bought. And I know it's because we maybe want someone to kind of tell us it's going to be all right and we've made a good decision. I'm telling you, if you've bought those coins I just mentioned, you've made a good decision in my opinion. But what am I really talking about? Well, this is Polygon, and I want to show you back in 2020. Price was around 2 cents, and at one point, Polygon went up to $2.63. It did like 120x or something like that. I don't know exactly the maths on that. Solana at one point was worth 66 cents. And also at one point, it was worth $260. That's almost a 300x. But even if you're in Solana now at $20, you're not going to see that level of growth again. So you needed to be in projects like Solana early on. But how on earth do you find out which projects are going to do this? Well, there's a really set formula. And guys, if you're not using Twitter to its full advantage, there is so much quality information on there. This guy, Alex Wasey, who I haven't really been following for very long, only because I haven't discovered him before, is sharing some of the most unbelievably high quality crypto content I've seen anywhere. I'll leave a link for his Twitter down below, guys. Not associated with him in any way, but unbelievable content. But it's this particular thread that I want to focus on from Alex Wasey. He's identified that the companies that are going to see the most growth have obviously had a lot of really decent investment. There's a ton of big organizations, venture capitalists out there who are investing in crypto. Not only do they invest in those companies, but they will also support those companies for their growth. This pretty much gives them a massive step up over any other company out there, and almost, because of the way that crypto works, almost guarantees them success. So he's saying here that you can see a 50 to 100x return actually in quite an easy way, and he even talks you through exactly how to do it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to follow through his method in this video, and then we're going to work out what to do. And guys, if you're like, oh, you're just using this guy's content, well, this is exactly what you should do in crypto, okay? You're not reinventing the wheel. There's plenty of people before you who've made good money and are telling you exactly how to do it. Just follow what they're saying and do your own research on top of that, and you're going to be absolutely winning. So effectively what we're going to do is we're going to identify who the big investors in crypto are, and then use these big investors to find out who is investing into what project. Now this is cryptorank.io, and for free you can come and check out different funds. We're going to click here on funds, and it's going to give us a list of all the VCs that are investing into crypto right now. Now obviously some of these are enormous, guys. Goldman Sachs, one of the biggest banks in the world. You've got JP Morgan, that pretty much is the biggest bank in the world. Coinbase, Binance, etc. These are all fairly obvious, but you can come down through the list and find out who else is involved in the game. Once you've selected one, Sino Global Capital here, you can then see who they have partnered up with. Interestingly, you've got Alameda Research at the top of this list, and then you can come down below and you can see who they have invested in the past. Now obviously, guys, we've got Solana's Polygon Matic at the top of this list, which pretty much further proves the point of what I just mentioned. Now obviously these are the most successful projects at the top because they're the biggest, so we can just sort by market cap and you can flip them completely on the head, okay? And then you've got a list of tiny market cap coins that have been invested in already by Sino Global Capital, and you can then work out how successful those different funds have been, and then just go through these different companies and see what's really going on with them. So now we've got funds, guys. We can see who's being active in those funds by taking a look at this spreadsheet here, which is again shared by Alex Wasey. And since this is always updated, you can check out the dates here and identify what's been going on. So here we can see the investment that's happening in May, which is obviously right now. And yesterday, Odyssey Network Unknown got $7.5 million. You can see who the investors are. And pay attention to these investors, because some of them will be much more active, and you can then pay attention to how well they're doing. And then you can just start to invest in these companies along with them. Obviously, don't just go and invest in any random thing that you find, but do some research into them. The big investment firms are not stupid, okay? They're not just going to chuck money at stuff that they think has no chance. They're looking to make big gains. It doesn't guarantee anything at all, but you can pay attention to what's happening here. You need to find the companies that are very early on in their development, that are getting huge chunks of investment capital, because that tells us we're going to see some great growth in the area. So who have we got at the top of this list? We've got Odyssey Network, Dolomite, Artisan, and then what we're going to do is we're going to come across to cryptofundraising.info. Odyssey Network at the top, Dolomite, we just mentioned these two, Artisan, okay, and then we can see more information on what's going on, how much money they've raised. So Dolomite raised $2.5 million, and then it's going to give us some categories for what they're in right now. It tells me everyone who's been investing in them right now. Then it's going to tell me exactly what's going on. It gives me their website, gives me their white paper, all of the communities, and then how much money they've raised and who has been investing in them. Then we come across to the website. Just in this case, we've got groundbreaking lending and borrowing, unlock dormant capital by borrowing and lending in new ways with new assets through powerful integrations across the DeFi ecosystem. Now, I've seen a few projects similar to this, okay? Effectively, what they're doing is they're using up all this capital that's kind of stuck in liquidity pools and various other places to then lend to other people in order to gain more returns on investment, that kind of thing. As well as that, borrowing assets in other dormant accounts to then lend to other people. Basically, just making sure that you don't have cash sitting around not doing a whole amount, and that it's actually actively moving around and building in value. You can come down, it tells you more about yield farming, and other ways in which you can gain more assets. Now we move on to the final part or final piece of the puzzle. When you get a new crypto project, you're looking for one that has a good amount of funding, that's doing something with real world requirements, etc. But ultimately what gets a lot of these coins off the ground is really who's talking about them and who's talking about them on Twitter and things like that. And there's a very cool tool for this. So all you need to do is copy the Twitter profile of the particular project we're looking at. So we just looked at Dolomite, and then we come across to crypto and NFT insights based on Twitter followers. Twitter scores automatically generate score for Twitter account based on the popularity of this account in the crypto space. And then I will paste it in and we'll click search, and you'll see us bringing up dolomite.io. And then it gives me some information about this particular project when it comes to Twitter. Now you're like, why does this matter? Well, if you think about certain individuals out there, the likes of Alex Becker, Raoul Pal, other kind of big names in crypto, when they mention a project, they tend to explode, okay? And that's such a powerful thing, okay? Because they are well researched as well, but also if you can be finding projects that are being followed by these individuals, they also stand to have a very exciting future as well, in my opinion. So we can see Dolomite, what they're basically doing, you can see who they're following, you can see the venture capital that's following them as well, you can see the influencers who are following them. Obviously not a huge amount of names, okay, but there's some big influence out there, BitBoy Crypto, various others like that, guys. If they are following companies like this, then you have a very real opportunity that one of these influencers might just drop that name into a video they make, or drop that name into an Instagram post, or whatever it is, and this could absolutely skyrocket a new project that's well funded. But there's some big influencers out there, BitBoy Crypto, various others like that, guys. If they are following companies like this, then you have a very real opportunity that one of these influencers might just drop that name into a video they make, or drop that name into an Instagram post, or whatever it is, and this could absolutely skyrocket a new project that's well funded.